Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here coming to you live from Katy in Texas, just outside of Houston. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling day. We have had an awesome day here. We got a lot accomplished today. We didn't go anywhere, but Zephy, we took her over to the dog park this morning. There were four dogs there. There was a Doberman and three others that I don't know what they were. And they all lined up along the fence because I took Zephy in through the small dog area to get into the big dog area, and all four dogs lined up along the fence. And she just stood there with her the hair on the back from the back of her neck all the way down her back was standing up on end. Her tail was curled under, and she wasn't sure what to think. And so the owners finally came and got their dogs and brought them away. The guy with the Doberman took his Doberman away, which was a shame because she was gorgeous. Beautiful Doberman, beautiful personality on her as well. So we got Zephy in there, and the other three just went onto her, and she just sort of like ducked out between them and took off. And two of them took off running. The other one was a 15-year-old dog that was happy to watch what was going on. But the other two were Sammy and Georgie, and Sammy was a black, I want to say it was an all black collie, water collie. He was about that size and kind of looked like that, but he was totally black. Could have been another breed that's in that same area. But him and Zephy got on so well. They were rolling around in the grass and getting up and chasing each other. And usually it was Zephy doing the running and everybody else doing the chasing. And then Georgie was this little thing about this big that would take off after them as well. And so at one point, Zephy had both of them running after her. And she would slow down a little bit and allow them to catch up to her heels. And then she'd put on just a little more speed and see if they'd catch up with her on that one too. And then if not, she'd slow back down again. So she liked playing with them and having them chase her. But she had a blast, and it was probably about 30 minutes of just running around, playing with these other dogs, just having the time of her life out there. In fact, when we got back and she had some grass stains on her back legs. She had grass stains on her fur. I didn't know dogs could do that, but she had grass stains. And as we're coming back, she decided to do her business yet again, and which is unusual for her to poop twice within a short amount of time like that. And so I picked up and I'm like, oh, where's the nearest trash can? Well, I could see where the dumpster's like way down the end next. We're out of the dog park by this area, walking back towards the RV. So I started heading towards that direction, and there's this big shaded area from the fence that's up. And we're walking along, and all of a sudden I'm like, I can't go anywhere. And I turn around. She's laying down on the concrete. Like, I'm done. She's in the shade. I'm done. I'm not going anywhere. She was panting like crazy. And I'm like, okay, we're just going to go back to the RV, get it hydrated and whatnot. And I'll figure out if there's a bin by the laundry and all that sort of stuff. And so got it back to as we're walking back to the RV, I saw a bin over by the laundry door. So I went in, and the laundry door's just right across from us. And so went over there, dumped her poop bag in there, and then brought her inside, and she was like, drink. And then she went and collapsed on the floor and just big panting. And that's that picture that I've got of her that's in her group. So she had a great day. And then later on, when she was arrived and she seemed to have a little energy, I says, okay, that time we did some training, isn't it? And she just kind of like looked at me and looked away and went and got up on the dashboard. And by this stage, I had already done the laundry. So I got the laundry out of the way. And I said to her, okay, we're going to do some training. And so I went and pulled the hula hoop out, and it's this bright pink shiny thing. And she took one look at it and went, yeah, I'm not having anything to do with that, until the treat got put the other side. And she's like, oh, maybe. And so I had it like about this far off the ground, so she just had to step through it to get the treat. And I was going through and back and forth, and then I'd raise it up a little bit. And so I probably got it about this high off the ground, where she kind of had to jump just a little bit to get over it. But that was the point. If I put it up any higher, she'd just walk underneath it and expect to get the treat. And I was like, no, through. But we did that, and she started going through it. So we'll work on her doing that on a daily basis for now, until we can get it up to a height. But I will have to at some point take her down to the dog park where she's off the leash and get her doing running jumps through the hoop, and get her doing that at some point. But for now, I'm just getting her used to going through the hoop and having the hoop around. Then I got stuck in, so laundry got done, got some housework done. Forgot to turn my phone off. Let's turn that off. Okay. And then I got stuck in on some marketing stuff that I'm doing. I'm also looking at moving all of my Facebook Lives that I've been doing on Helen's Great Adventures to YouTube. So getting that set up and trying to figure out why it wasn't working. So a little note to the help desk, help, please. Why is this not working? But I think it's because I was trying to move over 200 of them at one time, and I should just be doing like, I think it's like about 20. You should be doing up to 20 at a time, and I had over 200 of them. So yeah, probably a little too many in the system. Yeah, no. So been working on that. Also started reading a new book. You've heard me talk about this one in the past, The Universe Has Your Back. This is a really cool book. As you can see, it's been well read and loved. This is a really cool book about, and the word universe, she uses universe as whatever spiritual entity you believe or do not believe in. If you believe in the universe as the universe, then that's how you read it. If you believe in the universe as being God, you read it as that. If you believe in the universe being some other higher power, is it Mecca? I'm trying to think of the other ones. Whatever spiritual deities are out there, that is who the universe is for you. So it's written in a universal language based on what your spiritual beliefs are. And this is just basically, it's all about transform fear into faith. And this has been a really, really good book for me, getting me back on track, getting me going and all of that too. And so I took a break from it, from that for a while. And she has some really good exercises in there, some good meditations and that sort of thing. And then her new book came out late last year, I think it was. And I've had it sitting there, but I just didn't have the urge to read it. But lately the urge to read it has gotten stronger and stronger and stronger. So here's her new book called Super Attractor. You don't have to read this one in order to read this one. You can just go ahead and read this one straight off. So you don't need this one to this one. But for me, she makes some reference. She's already made some references in here about this book. So for me, I'm glad I have read this one so I understand it a little better. But if you haven't read it, it's not going to matter from what I've read so far. And so far, I'm just past the introduction. I'm about to start chapter 1. So already got I got this really cool, I've got to show you. Got these really cool little tabs. Each one of these petals is a sticky note. So it makes it easier when I want to use it in the books. I can just use it and I can actually point to what I want it to point at. Cool, huh? These are just these little petal things. So I can now, it's either that or it's the squares. I'm a post-it-aholic, so there's going to be post-its involved somewhere along the way. If I have to write on anything, it's going to be on these. If I just need to point, it'll be on these. So, and I've got one page which is almost all highlighted already, and this is just the introduction. So this is going to be a really good read. So I'm going to read some more of that tonight. So I've got that started. What a great idea. Love the colors. Yes, colors. And then you have the highlighters to go with them too. But usually when I'm reading a book, I pick, my green one's not here, it's over there where I was reading. So usually when I read a nonfiction book, I pick one highlighter color. And because my highlighter colors match up with my pens that have the have the 8 different colors, then I use that same color ink to write my notes in the margins and things. That's the first time through. The next time I read a book, so the second time I read a book, I pick a different color. So I can open up some of my books, my nonfiction books that I've read over the years, and judging by the number of colors of highlighters that are in there, I can tell how many times I've read the book. These don't matter. It's just start at the top and work your way through. Sometimes I might separate by color if I feel like I need to. But these little petal things, I got these a while ago, but it's the first time I've used them. But these are great because the sticky part is down by the point here, so you can actually just place it. The sticky part starts about here. And you can just point it to whatever you want to reference. So like if she's referencing a book in here, I can point it to that instead of putting a big one. But if I need to write like a question on here or a comment about what that's for, like if it's an exercise I'm doing that might be a meditation or something like that, then I will write it on this so I've got it tabbed. Because sometimes these aren't big enough to write on. But yeah, that's just my way of doing it. Everybody has their own way, and that's perfectly fine because I would rather you read a book how you read it instead of somebody telling you, now this is how you're supposed to mark it up. No, it's your book. The reason I get these books in physical copy is because I can then make it my own. They write the books to teach you stuff. I go in there and personalize it by putting, underlying stuff, highlighting stuff, writing comments in the margins. The nonfiction books, that's what they're there for. They're there for you to personalize and make it yours, because if they're ones like self-development, self-help, those sorts of books, business books, you want to get out of them the messages that you want to get out of it, and you want to interpret stuff the way you want to interpret it. It may not be how the author intended it, but you're making it yours by putting your own mark on the books. Some people don't like to do that with books. I like to do that with my nonfiction books. My fiction books are mainly all on my Kindle. The only time I get fiction books in actual paperback is when I'm flying. For some reason, when I'm flying, I cannot read my Kindle. Don't ask me why. I will sit there, and like when I fly down to New Zealand, I usually have 2 books on the plane with me, because I will read one while I'm on the flight, because it's a 12-hour flight, but some of the time I'm sleeping. On the way home, I'll definitely read 2 books. So, on the long haul flights, I've got to have, if it's a 3 or 5 hour flight, I will take 1 book with me. If it's longer than 5 hours, I have 2. And they have to be paperback, and they have to be fiction. Those are my flying rules. But these books are designed for you. The author writes them to teach you stuff, but you've also got to get out, and you get out of it what you get out of it, and you personalize it by making it your own, whether it's to fade pages, highlight things, write stuff in the columns, whatever it is that makes it yours and makes it unique to you, which is why you will never see me pass along a copy of a nonfiction book that I have read. If I do pass along a copy of a nonfiction book I have read, it'll be a brand new copy. Like The Magic of Thinking Big, I like to give that out to people every now and again. I'll buy several copies of it and just give them a fresh copy. They won't get the copy that I've personally read because it's got all my notes in it. It's just the way I am. And it's always good to pass books on along like that you think somebody will get something out of. Pass it along to them and let them, and make the book your own. Make it your own. So I had a great day reading Super Attractor, the introduction. So I'm looking forward to getting stuck into the actual chapters, because in the introduction she does talk about what she's going to cover in each chapter. And I was reading it, and the more I was reading, and as I was getting on further into the chapters, I was like, oh, I can't wait to get in. Which chapter was that again? I gotta go back and see which chapter it was. I mean, she's got what she's going to do in different chapters, and as I'm reading, I'm getting more and more excited about the chapters that are going to come, and I'm like, oh crap, I've got to read like 6 chapters before I get to that chapter, and I can't read them out of order because each one builds on each one. I'm like, oh! So it's going to be a very good test in patience to read the Super Attractor. What's Elder got here? I do the same thing because then I can look through the book a year later and reread my notes in the margins. Exactly. I use different colored pens next time to only use yellow highlighters, though, because I have a hard time reading colored highlighter. That's why I like these ones, because they're gels. So they don't go as dark as your ink highlighters do. So these ones I've got green, which is over there. I've got blue, purple. Well, the purple one's a little on the dark side, but the other ones I can read through pretty clearly because they don't go as dark as the ink ones do. And these are gel highlighters. Gel highlighters. You know how I found these? I'll tell you how I found these. This is really cool. You can also get highlighter pencils too, which are almost like colored pencils, but they're a little... We've got some wind coming up. My awning is flapping, but I have a detector on my roof that is supposed to automatically retract when it gets to a certain speed. So I'm not going to run over and panic. You can also get highlighter pencils, which are a little waxier than a colored pencil, and work just as good too. And those are very light on the colors. It shows you, it's got enough color in there that you can see the colors and it stands out, but it's very easy to read through as well. But, like I said, each to their own. You prefer the yellow highlighters? Excellent. And you use different colored pens each time you do notes. Love it. Love this. I love it when people make books their own. I really do. Got things started for Attractor. And then I'm going through Facebook and I'm getting a lot of friend requests lately. And some of the times I'm looking and I'll look at a name and go, why do I know that name? And I look at the profile picture and it struck me that, people don't really realize, what does your profile picture say about you? Now, for a while, I had one with my Stetson on, and I just today changed it, like a few minutes ago, changed it to the one with me and Zephy. And because I just really like that picture. I mean, getting a selfie with her is really hard to do, and I just really loved that picture of us snuggling up, cheek to cheek, and I just love that picture. But what does your profile picture say about you? Does it, if you send somebody a friend request, does your picture want them to click on your profile to look even further to find out more about you, to see if they want to become friends with you, especially if you don't know them? And I got a lot of requests lately from people that I don't know, and I'm like looking at the name going, well, the name kind of sounds familiar, but when I look at the profile picture, it's a flower, it's a tree, it's a dog, it's sort of like, it's not a person. So 9 times out of 10, unless I know the person, like that person tells me I'm sending you a friend request right now, or if I'm standing next to them at a meeting where we've met and it's not their profile picture, but I know that that's that person because they're right there and they just said, this is my picture. Oh yeah, that's my profile. Then I don't, if there's no face there, if they don't have their face in their profile picture, there's a good chance I won't accept the friend request. I want to see people's faces. I love looking at people's eyes and their smiles. I was flipping through some before. Some people that I accept a friend request today have gorgeous, gorgeous smiles, or these beautiful eyes. And there's guys in there too that had gorgeous eyes, and they just had a spark in their eye. But I don't just look at their profile picture, but that's the first thing that makes me, do I want to click on the thing? And especially if I don't know who they are, but I see we have, 40 mutual friends. Okay, who do we have in common? So then I go into their profile, and that's when I look a little more, and I'll go look at some of their pictures that they've posted. I'll look at some of the things that they've posted. Is it somebody I want to be acquainted with? If they post a lot of politics, probably not. I don't want my feed inundated with politics. I just don't. It's not something I discuss. 5 things I don't talk about on Facebook is politics, sex, no negativity, sports. Okay, occasionally sports, especially in New Zealand. Very rarely sports. What was the other one? And religion. Yep. You will actually lose people if they are against sports teams that you follow, if they are against the religion that you believe in, if they are against the politics that you believe in. You will lose people rather than convert people. So it's just as easy not to talk about it. So what does your profile picture say about you? Is it somebody that when they see your friend request pop up, is it somebody that they're going to say, oh, yes, I want to be friends with that person? Especially if it's somebody you don't know. It could be somebody who's in the same organization that you're in. It could be somebody who's in your networking group. But based on their profile picture, is it somebody that you want to be friends with? And then you go and dig into their profile a little more, see some of the other pictures that they're posting. I love seeing pictures with couples and family, and of course the animals and the babies, the grandkids, the newborns, all of that sort of stuff. So I do go, I don't just go, down the picture and go, yes. No, I don't do that. I look at their profile picture, and then I go further into their profile to see, is that somebody I want, and is their picture consistent with other pictures that they're showing, or is that just the front they're putting on? Because some people will put a really good profile picture, but their other pictures within there portray a completely different message. So be very careful about that. So I did Super Attractor on that out of order. Okay, so sounds like somebody's just parked in front of my rig. Maybe they're over at the laundry. Just sounds like it's in front of my rig. But anyway, so so it's been a very busy and productive day again. Getting some marketing stuff done. Got some kinks to work out, so I'm going to have to go find some people to help me with those kinks, like getting all my Facebook lives onto YouTube. I'm going to start posting them over there, so we will see what happens with that, see if this one will automatically post over there or not. But anyway, hope you've all had a super fantastic sparkling day. I am out of here. I am going to go have some dinner, probably pull my awning in before the warning thingamy Bob does. It's actually rocking the RV. It's supposed to be coming from the north. Oh, but that is the north wall. West is that way. The north must be that way. But anyway, so I'm looking forward to tomorrow too. I get to catch up with my friend Kelly tomorrow. She's coming over and meeting me around noonish. And so it'll be good to see her. I haven't seen her for about 5 years, 6 years, I think. But she's such an awesome person. And so I'm looking forward to catching up with her tomorrow. And we always have good laughs when we're together and have some very deep conversations too. So it will be interesting because it'll be the first time I've seen her since Brad passed. So for now, I'm going to go and have a protein shake for dinner, start reading chapter 1 of this. Yeah, and I'm really, really looking forward to getting into the later half of this book, but I know I have to do the foundation first. It's patience. It's like a building. So this book is like a building. You start with the introduction. She explains everything, what you're going to be doing, and then each chapter builds on each chapter. So the first chapter is going to be laying the foundation. Clearing, then laying the foundation, or something like that. Whatever you need to do to build a house, clear the land, put the foundation down, start putting up the walls and structures and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to be building on, starting to lay the foundation tonight with chapter 1, and I've got to see how long her chapters were, because when I did this book, I said, right, I'm going to do a chapter a day. And sometimes I was sitting there for 2 hours doing one chapter. So I learned my lesson with that book. So first thing I'm going to do is go through and figure out how long each chapter is, and then figure out how long I'm going to spend doing each chapter. It could be a 30-minute, may even do like 30 minutes, an hour. I don't know. We shall see. But hope you all have a super fantastic, sparkling evening. If you want to check out either of those books, just click the links that are in the description of the video here. We have them there for you, so you don't have to go hunting for them. You just go click the links. Just like that. It's done. Have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and we will catch you guys tomorrow. Hei konera.